Hello, and welcome to another episode of Chris Sells His Soul, my show on LinkedIn Live where I have conversations with cool people who can help you work creatively. Today, my guest is Todd Clouser. Todd, hello, please introduce yourself and tell the audience where they can find you.
How you doing, Chris? How you doing, everybody? My name is Todd Clouser. I'm a senior brand marketing manager over at Refine Labs, and basically what I do there is TikTok, YouTube, and I'm on the internal content team. So I get to do stuff like this all day long. But you can find me on LinkedIn, Todd Clouser, or TikTok, Todd Clouser.
Excellent. And the secret reason why I brought Todd here is because he has another persona that everybody on LinkedIn loves. Your boy Tucker will be talking about his character that's been blowing up TikTok. But first, I'm going to plug my website. So if you want to check me out, you can go to christopherbogue.com. You can find me on TikTok at Chris Sells His Soul or Twitter at Chris Sells Soul. But if you really want to follow my posts every day, or if you really want to follow Todd's posts every day, the best thing you can do is click the bell on our profile on LinkedIn, because we are content creators. We create content every day, and that's a huge part of how we market ourselves and our businesses. So Todd, I'm going to jump right into this here because you're a TikTok guy. People come to Refine Labs for TikTok support, I could only assume. And I know a lot of people in the sales world are wondering, how the hell is TikTok supposed to make any money for a business? So can you just dip into a little bit about why TikTok and what kind of benefits are people seeing from using TikTok to promote their business?
Yeah, I think in the B2B space, a lot of people are, what I kind of run into all the time is people, saying my audience isn't on TikTok, my audience is only on LinkedIn, but they see the value of LinkedIn, right? So what I've been trying to prove over the past maybe month or two is that, okay, even if your audience isn't on TikTok right now, which by the way, they may not be creating content, but they're watching, I can assure you. Mm-hmm. You can use that platform to make your LinkedIn content 100 times better and more shareable and more memorable. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And just to give a little background on my LinkedIn story, I guess, I started creating content when the pandemic hit, and basically did that relatively consistent with text posts and stuff up until about October of last year. And I had maybe 1,500 followers. A good post may have been 25-ish likes and 3, 4, 5 comments. I started posting TikToks on LinkedIn in January, early 1st of January, and I've gone from 1,600 to over 5,000 followers in a month. My posts have gone from getting 25 people to hundreds and thousands of people engaging and commenting. And the types of people that are engaging and commenting are, there's several C-level executives that are commenting on all that stuff and reaching out and connecting with me. So I think if you see the value of LinkedIn and that's something that you're currently doing, it's really hard to deny that TikTok can be used to grow that profile on LinkedIn.
Yeah. See, this is very interesting stuff because I'm on TikTok and I'm on LinkedIn, and I discovered the same thing that you discovered, right? So I started my own business. I did sales for a long time. I did sketch comedy for a longer time, but I did sales. And I thought that's what everybody wanted to know about. How do you sell? How do you close? And they do want to know that stuff. And I do a fair amount of sales consulting, but I started throwing crazy characters into my content. And all of a sudden it was like a light switch, those thought leader posts did not get noticed. But when I started doing sketch comedy, people started noticing, and I started getting the inbounds, and I had this eureka moment where I'm like, oh, of course people like to laugh. Of course C-level executives think something's funny. They're going to click the like button. And if they start laughing, you can sell to them. We've known this for a long time, but B2B companies, they don't know how to be funny. So how did you do a lot of funny stuff on Todd, on TikTok. So where do you get your ideas from? How do you come up with these ridiculous videos that people are clicking the like button on?
I think it's important to to mention, because a lot of people are very intimidated by doing entertainment right off the bat. So I think it's important to kind of preface this by saying, like, my first 30 or so posts were literally just me going back and auditing my old LinkedIn text posts and basically creating a video out of that. So they were very much like subject matter expert talking head style posts. And as I did that, because you hopefully you can't tell by my latest content, but like, I have always hated being on camera. Like, it's one of the things that I just don't enjoy doing. So I had to kind of build that muscle. So like, people always tell me like, yeah, but I'm not good on camera. Like, you're funny. I'm not. I started by creating talking head educational content. And I built that muscle to be able to kind of venture into that entertainment style content. And then once I did that, working in content creation and social media and all these different platforms for the better part of a decade, like, I've learned all of the little stereotypes and like things people complain about within the industry. So I basically started by like, how can I just like poke fun at all of the things that everybody hates? Like, whether I mean, the sales and marketing married couple is like the perfect example. Like sales and marketing are like notoriously butting heads. And it's a perfect example of like, okay, like, who else butts heads a lot? And then how can I play on that? So like, married couple, like, it just kind of presented itself. But honestly, like,
that is a huge thing in comedy writing, is just like, you take one conversation and you put it in a different context, all of a sudden it's funny, right? And the sales marketing cliches, like, people see them, but you put them in the cadence of an argument between a husband and wife going through relationship counseling. Like, we understand that, we know how that story goes, we know those tropes. And yeah, I'm a big fan of just like, take those structures. I learned in the Second City to make fun of yourself. So you find your own, like, I have a character, Vagueman. I'm Vagueman sometimes. And I have this boss character who's kind of a dick. And sometimes, I'm short tempered, and, I'm blowing my flaws up to comic proportions so we can laugh at them. But at the heart of it, there is something real and something relatable. And I like that you've stumbled onto that too, of just like, what's relatable, what's familiar, what will they all recognize, and how can I put that in a format that's more understandable for someone who's not in this world?
I think the other important thing to mention that has really helped me in that creation brainstorming process is, people say a lot like, well, I don't like TikTok because I'll get on the app and then I'll just like endlessly scroll, consume content. Like 45 minutes later, I haven't done anything and I need to like uninstall it because like I'm just wasting time. I think if you're like super, like you use that to your advantage, right? So like, when I'm scrolling through the platform, like, I'm looking for content that like really engages with me. And I'm not talking about like B2B. I'm talking about like people who do the platform really, really well. Someone who's got 1 million followers, they clearly know how to do the platform well. So like, you see something that kind of speaks to you. And then I like to go and actually inspect that person's profile. Like, take 30 minutes, watch every single piece of content that they've ever created, or the last 50. And then you start to see these trends that are coming out, not only in like that person's content, but in all of these people that you really love on the platform. And the biggest one that I've found is, basically, you find these content themes, right? Which is exactly why I have like 2 pillars, which is like the remote office, which is like these mock Zoom things, and then the if marketing did, which is just like literally me. Again, this is me trying to be like relatable, like you just said, like poking fun at like, if B2B marketing did like some of these things that B2C did, or like B2C did back in like the 90s when I was a kid, and then just like that stuff's super relatable. So
Yeah.
like,
Well, oh,
go
sorry.
ahead.
I was gonna say we were getting some comments here. People are asking. Kim is asking if I'm going to put this new playbook. I am writing a book, and I have services that I will introduce momentarily. But yeah, people are disbelieved. So Jennifer asked C-level. Wow. And this is actually a misconception that happens all the time. I will tell people about my training, and they go, "Oh, that's great. I love your stuff. I love your videos. They're so funny." But I sell to C-level executives. And I'm like, yeah, who do you think I'm selling to? The people I connect with on LinkedIn, they're mostly CEOs or they're entrepreneurs or they're VPs of sales. And it's like, I don't know why this surprises people to learn that those people like comedy. You know, they go to the movies, they go to funny movies anyway. They're watching funny things on their phone. And they don't want to just sit and talk about business all the time. They want something that's going to laugh. And sitcoms, some of the greatest sitcoms in television history have been about work. The Office, and there are a million great work sitcoms. So you can be funny about work, but if you're trying to get someone's attention or you're trying to appeal to them, just because that you don't stop laughing once you reach a certain amount of money. And somehow people got it in their heads that that's the case. And I'm like, well, that's good for me, because people are filling these inboxes with just straight garbage, that they're trying to strategically write. And if I just go, look how funny I am, I can get meetings with C-level people like whenever I want. Did you have to cross a chasm to realize that like it's the same audience, or did you have to like I don't know, like what was that experience of actually taking this silly comedy and trying to use it for a serious audience?
Honestly, like let me just take a quick take on your last take real quick. I get CMOs connecting with me all the time now and engaging with my content, because I think that smart CMOs realize that TikTok is going, like that's where we're going, and they don't necessarily understand TikTok right now. So like, even if it's not like, oh, I just want to spend time on TikTok and laugh, these people also like they know that they're going to have to go down this path at some point. So they're following the people that are doing it well, and like they're trying to learn from them. So that brings opportunities in itself. Going back to your last question, basically the first TikTok I posted on LinkedIn, we basically had like an internal competition at Refine Labs during Christmas week of last year. And one of the challenges one day was basically recreate a Christmas themed music video, and bonus points if you can make it marketing related. Mm-hmm. So coming from like a background in video, my background is in YouTube. Like I just went to YouTube and I Googled Christmas songs, and I happened to find like a newer one that I just thought would work really well. And I spent the entire day, shout out to Refine Labs for like letting me do this kind of stuff and get paid for it. But I literally spent a large portion of the day like rewriting the lyrics, downloading the video, shooting my own video, recording it. And then I put that full song out on LinkedIn as kind of like a Christmas theme. Like I knew I could get away with like entertainment at Christmas time, right? Mm-hmm. And I put that out, and like the amount of engagement that got compared to like my normal activity was just like, holy shit, I think I might be onto something here. And then I tried to basically use like what was common on TikTok with the scenes, and creating more of like a sitcom style with myself. And I had all these people like, oh, I would watch that sitcom, like commenting. And at that point it was like, all right, now I know I'm onto something. And that's kind of, it went from there.
Yeah, no, turn your business into a sitcom. It's great for business. I'm putting this comment up here from Emily. Emily asks, how long does it take to make a video from ideation to production? How do you manage your time for content creation? I'll jump in on this one first, then I'm curious to hear yours there. It depends on the video. I made a Vagueman video earlier this week, popped it off in an hour or two, just shot it in front of my green screen, zipped it up. It was 15 seconds long. Sometimes they take me weeks. Sometimes I get a month, like I'll have an idea and it'll take me months to figure out how I can make it. So I dropped the video and it's 2 minutes long and it looks like expert level stuff, but I actually was thinking about it and researching effects for a long time. If you watch my Halloween movie, I made a horror movie on Halloween. It is actually scary. It is like genuinely scary. It took forever. And yeah, you gotta learn how to make both. You gotta be able to keep moving forward on the high level projects and still keep putting smaller stuff out there more often to feed the beast. Wink. But if you want to take that too, how long does it take you to make your stuff? I know there's a fair amount of editing in yours.
Yeah, so basically mine will take, depending on the video, anywhere from 3 to 5 hours, like from actual writing the script to filming to editing, like for the stuff that you see on LinkedIn. And again, like I come from a YouTube background where we had to do like 3 long form videos every single week. So like I've kind of figured out the speed thing. And part of that is literally like I put a post out earlier this year that's like, this is going to be my schedule. Tuesday and Thursday, you're going to get like a produced video. And then, the rest of the week you might get like something promo or something text or whatever. But like Tuesday and Thursday, you're getting a like semi-produced TikTok video on LinkedIn. And like telling everybody that and putting out a poll at the beginning of the week saying like, which one do you want today? Which one do you want Thursday? Kind of forces you to put it out. Cause like, if you don't, people are looking for it and you just screwed up.
You let them down.
But that's on the long end, right? So like those are the ones that I bring over to LinkedIn. I also on TikTok, I think there's a balance between trends and like these pillar pieces of content, like these series. The trends, I'll pop off a trend maybe, 10, 15 minutes max in the morning. The longest part of that is actually finding what trend I want to do and how am I going to relate it to my business. The actual filming part of it takes, 2 minutes. So it really depends on like the strategy that you're going to go forward with.
Yeah, I find the best way to do it is just start talking. It seems like that's what most people do is like you start talking to the camera and you start putting stuff out and then you find it. You find what you're talking about. A lot of people do straight to camera stuff that's very successful. I don't want to turn the audience off from thinking that it's not going to work if they don't do that. If you're a creative person, you're going to end up, your other creative talents are going to find their way into the video too, if you keep doing it. But if you just want to start talking about what you know, that's a great way to do it. And actually, this is a perfect time because I'm going to introduce a new segment right now called Gimme Gimme. Todd, are you ready for the segment?
I'm ready when you are, man.
All right, let's do it. So this is going to be a new segment every week where my guest and I shamelessly promote our services and tell the audience exactly what we want. So you just give me a moment here, get into costume. There we go. Let's see, almost, and hello. Welcome to Gimme Gimme, the new segment where I tell you to give me money. Please welcome our guest, your boy Tucker. Tucker, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
Stupendous. How have you been lately? You look wonderful.
Honestly, boss, I'm not doing that great. I did this podcast last week, and I'm still kind of pissed about it, man. I'm not gonna lie.
What happened? Who was it?
It was I was working with this guy named Travis over at PandaDoc, and it was amateur hour.
No, don't even get me started on PandaDoc. Did they remember to take the yellow M&Ms out of the candy dish?
You're not gonna freaking believe this. I'm a freaking influencer. I don't ask for money. All I ask for is equal parts red M&Ms and blue M&Ms. The second I go in there, sitting right on the freaking top, yellow M&M. Complete bullshit.
He's going to get what's coming to him. Don't even get me started on Travis Tyler. Go check out my videos about PandaDoc. I've said some words about them. But you are an influencer and you deserve to get paid. And that's why I'm here promoting ChristopherBogue.com because there seems to be an imbalance here on LinkedIn. You're all business people. You see me out here getting the laughs. You see Todd out here getting the laughs every day, and yet you're not paying us money. Something about this doesn't add up. So let me clarify it for anybody at home who doesn't understand. I want your money. I want your money. I want your money now. Pay me for comedy. Pay me to train your team. Pay me to write funny things for you. You can pay me to do all sorts of things, but that is why I'm here on LinkedIn. Is that not right, your boy Tucker?
You're damn right that's right. And I'll tell you what, if you're going, I work for one of these badass, marketing firms, Refine Labs. I'm telling you what, if you go and you request a consult, you better be saying my name.
Yeah.
Because I swear,
yeah,
there may be a big fat check in that for me. And if you don't do that, I'm an influencer, so I sell stickers.
Yeah, there will be hell to pay, right? And you'll buy a sticker if you don't give him the referral, but he could really use the referral. It's not easy out here being an influencer, right? You see these guys, you see your boy Tucker, you see me, you see Corporate Bro. Have you guys heard about Corporate Bro? Boy, that guy's a piece of work. Let me tell you. I like him though. Don't get me wrong. I love Corporate Bro. Somehow he manages to be even more personally off-putting than your boy Tucker. And that's really saying something, but it's all an act. It's all an act, folks. Let me tell you, Corporate Bro, he acts like a big shot. You want to know what he does after he wraps up one of his Zoom meetings where he busts your balls? He puts on his shorts and he washes your car. That's what he does. He washes my car. He washes your boy Tucker's car. And yeah, you want to hire Corporate Bro to come in there and hurt your marketing team's feelings and send them to therapy. I got news for you. You got the money to hire Chris Bogue to make delightful marketing content with you or train your team on sales to make vidyards that aren't garbage. Tucker, what else you got to offer?
I mean, like I said, I sell stickers.
Yeah, you sell stickers. That's right. This has been a fun segment. This has been Gimme Gimme. Anybody who wants to pay me money, I just offer a 90-minute strategy session for either sales or content creation, and you can look into weekly, monthly, or annual plans. I cannot emphasize this enough. Please pay me. You do not want me and your boy to go retroactively charge you for all the laughs you got for free because you can't afford that, folks. I'm sorry.
And I will blow up your inbox.
He will. I mean, he's going to do that anyway, but he will. Please buy his stickers. And this has been Gimme Gimme. Thank you. All right. Well, we did that. That was fun. And that's going to help us segue into our next conversation, which is about character work. Todd, first off, that was very fun.
I think that went well. We'll see in the comments afterwards.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I was trained at the Second City to do character work, right? So I have a lot of shows under my belt. I'm very confident living in a character. You've got this character now, and this character's taking on a life of his own on TikTok and on LinkedIn and at Refine Lab. So tell me a little bit about your boy Tucker and like, where did this come from? And how did you get the idea to start being this guy?
It's actually kind of interesting. So if you go back, the original Tucker was not your boy Tucker. It was just Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
And he was kind of the opposite of what he is now. And then when like I figured out that I wanted to do like these it was like this one-off video that I did. And then when I figured out that I wanted to make this like an ongoing series, I thought like I need a character that everybody can like quasi relate to. Like there's been that one guy in everybody's office at one point. So there's a sketch that I did where it like introduces each character. So like the fun boss or the boss that thinks he's fun, and like the SDR that came over to marketing, which is your boy Tucker. And he basically like in the beginning, he kind of had like this, like my really bad, like horrible like bro accent.
Mhm.
And then like I did the slap post commercial, like the infomercial. And if
Mhm.
you actually watch the video, like the beginning, there's no accent, but then like I was trying to like emulate the dude from the actual slap chop commercials, and like I could not do that thing without putting in an accent. So like
Yeah.
the accent started, and then it's progressively just got like stronger and stronger in every video that I've done. So he's kind of evolving as I create more content.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. So the boss character, the one I just popped into here, that was originally a Leonardo DiCaprio impression, because I did "Sell Me This Pen," and that was the first time I didn't have a boss character in this reality of my show. So I was like, okay, I need a boss character. It was almost a completely different boss too. My boss character was originally scripted to be a Mark Zuckerberg type. So the joke was going to be he was going to be in a hoodie all the time, and he was never going to remember like what company he like this was that he was running and like what it is that we actually do. And I saw this "Sell Me This Pen" bit, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put on this really kind of like I'm going to put on this attitude, and it just kind of stuck. People liked it, and then I realized like, oh, you know what? I can really infuse. He's a lot of terrible boss types, right? He's like every sales manager I've ever had. He's part me because I'm my own boss, yelling at myself to go get the sales because I run my own company. A little stranger Donald Trump, just a little drop of the attitude. It's like you pick up little things and you kind of build the character as you go. But yeah, it's like it's fun and you find it, and it's this weird thing where it starts as you putting on a caricature, and then you slowly infuse more and more of yourself into it. You had a great bit where your boy Tucker, you're in a car, your daughter is there, and you go to leave, and you ask her, are you gonna be in the car? Are you gonna be okay alone? And she says very softly, she goes, no. And you go, okay, I'll be back in just a second.
Back in an hour. Give
And
me an
like,
hour or two.
yeah, so tell me about like I like when the jerks or the really irrational characters can have the moment where they're smiling or they're subdued or they're gentle. And that was this really funny, disarming moment with your daughter. And could you tell me about like getting her into the comedy and like figuring out those notes and like how to get different notes out of Tucker?
Yeah, so I think when I was creating YouTube content, like that was like day in and day out, like everything that I did. I used to watch a lot. There's a channel out there. The guy's name's Peter McKinnon, and he always used to talk about like your goal to get, and in YouTube, like if you can't get someone from beginning to end, like it's never going to get suggested. Like your YouTube videos aren't going to grow. So
Mm-hmm.
like his basic like advice way back when was like you always have to be like surprising your audience throughout the entire thing. You can't just like just go. So like for that, like the scene was kind of boring in the beginning. It's just like, hey, I'm in the car, like, yeah, I've got like 37 followers. Like, look at me, I'm taking you on this journey. But then like you kind of like flip around in the back seat, and like the kid is there, and it's like, what's gonna happen here? Like it surprises you. So that's kind of where that came from. It's like, okay, I can't just be driving in a car for 15-30 seconds and then show up at a house. Like nobody's gonna think that's funny. Like how do I inject some element of surprise into this?
I love that you said that because I got the same thing when I went out and started on this adventure in entrepreneurship. I talked to YouTubers who were doing it professionally, and they gave me the same advice. They're like, something has to be changing. You never like maximum. You do not want to go over 15 seconds of just static. You want something's changing. There's got to be motion or text or music or a camera angle or a change in emotion or just something to keep them along. And all my videos, if you watch my videos on LinkedIn, they're very deliberately, I hook you in the first couple seconds, but there are surprises loaded into the last 3 seconds of the video. And sometimes I will have a really amazing bit at the end of the episode that I've had in my mind for months because I know I'm going to end it that way. And yeah, I'm always looking for, when I'm editing, when I'm writing, when I'm shooting, when I'm doing anything, just being like, okay, this little moment, this little 5 to 10 seconds, I could lose them here. So what is it that's going to be compelling about this moment? Is it a joke? Am I saying something specific? Does the camera move? Am I coming in as another character? I play a character called Vagueman, which is popular now. People in my network are loving Vagueman because it's just me in a cape with a blurry background and I'm wearing a polo and I just say really vague things. And my job description is that I'm a rock star and that I add value. I turn companies into rocking ships by adding value. And Vagueman, he's got a vague background behind him, right? There's nothing there. And I play air guitar now because I'm a rock star. So I go, meow, and there's you'll hear a guitar riff, just a meow, because you need something there. And I'm saying all these jokes about being vague, but that's actually like 5 different specific jokes hitting the audience at the same time. And, with the sales thing and the Vidyard, it's like we put all this work into our content. Companies spend thousands of dollars trying to make these videos that are compelling, or millions of dollars trying to make these videos that are compelling. And then their salespeople are trying to land multi-million-dollar contracts, and they send out a Vidyard that they didn't put any thought into whatsoever. They don't think about how to make it engaging. They don't think how to do that hook. They don't think, how am I going to get this person to watch through to the end? They're just like, well, I hate video. I'm just going to shoot it and hope for the best. And then they're surprised when it doesn't work. And it's like, guys, we are all competing for the same attention spans here. I don't care who you are or what your job is. You're competing with Netflix. Any moment, they could just flip over to Netflix and start watching that instead of you. So how are you going to keep them in this moment?
Yeah, for sure. And I think what you do really well is you combine those two things, right? Like you combine the element of surprise with making a super like everybody can relate to somebody who just uses really vague terminology because they don't really understand what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. So like you marry these two things together, which I think the surprise element keeps that person invested in your video, and the relatability element is what makes people share it with everyone else, which of the two combined is what makes stuff perform really well.
Yeah. And your thing about surprising, like one thing they always taught me in improv was showing is better than telling and discovering is better than showing. Right. So yep. I can say like, oh, hey, help me get, or like, hey, there's a suitcase in the back of the car. But that's weak, right? I'm just talking about something. So the other thing to do is like, oh, hey, let me grab my suitcase and pick it up. But the strongest choice is to go, hey, can you help me with my suitcase here? Because then you grab it and we pick it up together. And in the moment, we're figuring out how big is this? And you're figuring out your physicality. I'm figuring out my physicality. And we're doing an action together. And we're united in that now. And we're going to discover what this is together. And we're going to discover the joke together. And I found the more you just set up the opportunity and discover the little gifts in the moment, like that's really the secret to it. And then you don't got to sit there and struggle with a blank page. You're just finding things to play off of.
Yep, for sure. And I think that's another thing that people that are successful on TikTok specifically, not necessarily repurposing it to LinkedIn, but are very successful on that channel natively, they do that very well. Like as someone consuming the content, like I feel like I'm in it. Like I'm invested. I almost feel like I'm there.
Yes, because you are. You're at, like, that's the thing I always tell people, whether you're making content or you're making, sales videos on Vidyard or Loom or BombBomb or one of those programs, you are in their home. We were talking earlier about how CEOs and C-level executives, how they like to laugh. In that same vein, when you're sitting at home in your pajamas wearing a hoodie, so are C-level executives. Those millionaires, like they are at their homes, having coffee, scrolling through their phone. So I always say, like, don't get tripped up in being like, oh my, like I couldn't do ridiculous comedy because then all these serious people are going to see it and they're going to think less of me. No, they want that. They want to be able to go out there and do that. And if you share their world, if you just go out there and share what's fun with them, of course they're going to laugh. And if they're going to laugh, then they're going to talk to you. And, I haven't been on LinkedIn that long. I didn't really get into the creator game until about a year or two ago. And I see so many people just like fretting about their numbers. And I'm like, stop worrying about how many people click the like button. Because even if I only get a few hundred views on TikTok And then I post it on my LinkedIn and maybe I get a few dozen comments. Maybe I don't, maybe I only get a couple comments. But if one of those people is a potential client and I reach out to them, now it's not, hey, can I have 30 seconds of your time to give you my pitch? It's, oh, I'm glad you liked the video. Tell me about video on your sales team. Do you like, what kind of training do you guys do? And then it's a very natural conversation instead of me just having to hound them for their attention. And, even if they see the vidyard from me pop up, it's always phrased in this very welcoming way where I open the door, but I don't demand that they step inside. And if they say this isn't for me, I go, oh, that's fine. And I just keep on, being a merry player on the stage, making entertainment for them. Sometimes people reject me, and then 2 months later they came back because they saw, oh, this guy is actually fun and he's not a jerk. He's not going to make me feel pressured. He's not going to make me feel bad. And I just feel there's so much negativity in the world. And my comments, I am satirizing corporate America. I'm satirizing myself. And I am, a little rough around the edges sometimes, but I'm really trying to make something that's just fun and makes people feel good. And how do you know it's working? I know that there's the numbers, right? But what are the metrics you look at for, like, is the joke landing, that have nothing to do with the analytics? How do you feel that? How do you learn from other people whether or not it's funny?
The big thing for me with entertaining content, there's two ways. There's like a short-term focus that I know that specific video is doing well, and then there's a longer-term focus that I know, like, I'm going in the right direction. And the short game, when I see people tagging their coworkers in my comments, like, I don't even care if they say, like, this was awesome, I love it, blah, blah, blah. Like, the most important comment to me is when I just see, like, 3 people tagged. Like, they don't even have to say something to me, but the fact that, like, I know that they're bringing that in, the people that they work with into that, like, I know that if I've created something that they want to share with their coworkers, like, there's a good chance it's pretty good.
Yeah. And this is, sorry. I was going to say, for the audience, if you want to support Todd or if you want to support me, one of the greatest things you can do to help out a content creator is share it in dark social. If you're in a group, if you're in a creator club, if you're on Discord or in Slack or on Reddit, or you're doing any of these communities where you're networking with people and they're helping you create content, if you want to give me and Todd a boost, find the funniest video, find the one that makes you laugh the hardest, and share it and be like, this guy is awesome, his stuff's hilarious. That is the stuff that we cannot calculate. It is very hard to plan for that and quantify that and set expectations for that. But that is the stuff where someone tells someone and someone tells someone, and all of a sudden it blows up. Like, that really, and it's not just for me or Todd, it's any content creator you're trying to support. Go share them somewhere else, and then let them know you shared it, because they will appreciate it.
For sure. Yeah. And I think the longer term, like, how I know if I'm, like, continuously moving in the right direction is where up until 2 months ago, like, I would almost never see my name pop up in other people's posts that I didn't know. Whereas now it's, I would say, like, minimum once a day, I see there's a person I'm not connected with, I've never seen the post, and they have some poll or some piece of content out there, and then someone who has seen my content is, like, tagging Todd Clouser because I know he's got some insight on this, or, Todd, what do you think? You need to follow Todd because he's doing great things with video. Like, that's the longer term snowball effect that, like, that's happening every single day now. And then that's driving more and more people to find me in my content. And, it just gets bigger and bigger from there.
Yeah. For me, it's not an accident. I'm very deliberate about, I'm always growing my LinkedIn network. And the advice I give, because I'm in some content creation groups too. There's a lot of people out there who are just trying to put more content out. They want to do the fun stuff. My secret is I'm trying to make them jealous. I figure if I just go up here and have fun, eventually people are going to be so jealous, they're just going to turn on the camera and start doing it too, because it is a lot of fun, and it's fun when it starts working, and it's fun when people start getting jokes. I would say that the hardest part about finding a direction for me was you have to ask for feedback. You have to ask for feedback. And especially if you're not working with a team, if you don't have someone to bounce ideas off of, like those early people who are clicking the like buttons and commenting, thank them, send them a private message, thank them. And I always ask them, or if somebody finds me, if they reach out to me and they're like, oh, I loved your content for a long time. I'm glad connecting with you. I ask them, like, which one did you see? Which video did you see? And they'll tell you. And I was not able to develop my business strategy until I started figuring out what's working. And I had this little eureka moment where I'm like, oh, I'm making sales materials, but these people who know nothing about sales are finding it funny. And these comedians who are not in the sales world, they're finding it funny. And the funny stuff that's not really super heavy on the sales, C-level executives are laughing at that. And the people who I thought were too serious and too stuffy to enjoy content like that were like, keep it up, this is good. And I had that realization that I'm like, oh yeah, this is like, if you just make it fun, anyone's going to do it. And there's no roadmap. Me and Todd are class clowns. As you can tell, like, we joke our ways through a lot of life. And maybe that's not you. Maybe you're more reflective. Maybe you're into poetry or music or creative writing or dance or anything. It's like, you just got to go out there and do the stuff that you think is cool, and take note of who likes it, and then use that to branch out from there. Find your little mini audiences and start thinking to yourself, like, okay, well, if they like that one dance I did to this song, they'd probably like this other thing too. And you start, the content create ideas just happen more and more and faster because you have all these different types of people to play to, and you know exactly what they want to see. We're getting to close to the end of our time here. Jennifer says she's jealous. I'm glad. You can have fun. You can hire me. But
I want to touch on that real quick, if you don't mind. Like, because my purpose for right now for TikTok is very much the same as what you just, and what Jennifer just said, is like, my entire goal right now behind TikTok, it's not even like building this massive audience on TikTok. My goal is to create the video there because it's such a powerful platform for people that don't have the experience to be able to edit in an external software or something like that. And then prove the use case of that platform on LinkedIn. So I'm very much in the same boat with you. Like, yeah, I'm trying to make people jealous that like I think at the end of the day, followers don't really matter, but they matter in the sense that people care about followers. So if I can say, like, yeah, I just grabbed 4,000 followers in 30 days on LinkedIn, people are gonna be like, holy shit, maybe TikTok is for B2B. And then the people that are taking advantage of that now are going to be in a different class than the people that figure that out a year from now when everybody's over there. Once everyone's there, and once all the advertising starts happening on that platform, at that point it's pay to play. It's really hard to build an organic following. And the people that are doing it now, they're going to have such an advantage.
Yeah.
Because whatever it is that they need to message, they need to get out there, they're going to have this built-in audience. Whereas everyone else has happened with Facebook, happened with Instagram. Everyone says my audience isn't there. And we continue to say it. I mean, this is like the third platform that like is having this massive reach, and nobody wants to say that, admit that this is the place that's going to blow up for B2B. But like, we've seen this twice in the past already. Yeah. And like, it's not going away. We're past that point. I mean, it's not Clubhouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So no, you can't find I don't think you could find a single data scientist in the world that is predicting that next year people are going to make fewer videos on fewer platforms. Less people are going to make TikTok videos next year than they did this year. Like, the trends are only going towards more video. The trend is only going towards everybody has to be a content creator every day. You can like it or hate it, but that's the world that we live in. So you might as well have fun with it. And sure. If you don't know how to have fun with it, check out Refine Labs, check out Todd Clouser, check out your boy Tucker, and check me out. And we are getting to the end of our time here. So I will remind everybody one more time, if you like Todd Clouser, if you like Chris Bogue, there we go. Click the bell. Go to our profile on LinkedIn, click the bell. You'll get funny stuff all the time. And Todd Clouser, great having you.
And I just saw Emily said, anybody want to do a duet? I will 100% do a collab if you do another Napoleon Dynamite scene.
Yeah, I'll jump on, like, put something out there on TikTok. I'll duet you. Anybody wants to duet or stitch with me on TikTok? I love it. I'm an improv guy, you know, so I'll play off you. Find me and play with me, and you know, me and your boy, we're out there in virtual space now, just doing the yuck yucks. So come on and yuck yuck with us.
For sure.
Oh yeah, any of your boy? I guess we'll do one more before our official sign up, but yeah, and any plans? Can you let us in on any future plans for your boy Tucker, Todd?
Future plans for your boy Tucker? There is no plan further than like next Tuesday. So I'll tell you this: there's a video coming out that is going to be, if you follow the remote office stuff, you know that your boy got fired in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And in this upcoming one, it's the whole like interview process, and there's a lot of really big, well-known names in that video that people are going to get a kick out of. So I'll leave it there.
Big names. Stay tuned for more LinkedIn Live too. I do this every week at 3. Come find me. Todd Clouser, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, man.